In today's lecture, we will discuss about K-map. So let's get into it. Let's see why we need K-map. For example, let's say we have a function f of a, b, c, where a, b and c are the inputs, and let's say this is the equation, this is the expression for the f 1, 4 and 5. That means this function is 1, or we can say the outputs of this function are ones at these positions. So if we draw the truth table 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 and 1 1 1, we can say the outputs are ones in these positions because this is position number 0 1 2. You can say the position or the decimal value because we can see here 001 means the decimal value is 1, here 010 the decimal value is 2, here 5 6 7. So for this function we will get the outputs at these positions, at position of 1 4 and 5. So 1 4 and 5, and other outputs will be zeros like this. As this is in sub form, that means the outputs are ones in these positions. If these were like this, 0 2 3 6 7, that means pos form where the outputs will be zeros in these positions 0 2 3 6 7, and again these two functions are the same because we are saying that the outputs are ones in these positions here 1 4 5, and we are saying that the outputs are zeros in these positions 0 2 3 6 7. So they are actually same. Now why we need K-map? Let's come to this point. Let's write the canonical subform for this function. We can write a prime b prime c for this one. Then for this one we can write plus a b prime c prime. Remember, we are writing the canonical form for the SOP, so we are writing the products and then taking the sum. At last for this we can write a b prime c. So this is the canonical subform of this function because this function has ones in these positions. Okay, so if we study the function we can see there are so many gates. Here we have a 3 input AND gate, a 3 input AND gate, a 3 input AND gate. Here we have 2 OR gates and some inverters here, here, here and here. So for implementing a simple 3 input function we are needing so many gates. That's why we need to simplify the function so that we can implement the same function using much less gates. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. We can do this using two methods. One, Boolean algebra, or two, K-map or Karnaugh map. K-map is the short form of Karnaugh map. So let's see how we can implement K-map to simplify a function. At first we need to make the table for K-map. For this example, let's say we have only 3 inputs, okay, A, B and C. So we have a function of only 3 inputs. So we need to organize the table in such a way that the neighbor states differ by each other by only 1 bit. let's see what do I mean. I have 3 inputs, so I will write one input row wise and I will write 2 inputs column wise, or you could write 2 inputs row wise and 1 input column wise. I have said that in a K-map table, the neighbor states can change by only one bit from each other. So here we have 2 inputs row wise, sorry, 2 inputs column wise. That means these 2 inputs will change in the direction of the columns. We have 2 inputs, that means we will have 2 to the power 2 equals to 4 patterns, and these are the 4 patterns, and we need to organize these 4 patterns in such a way that it satisfies the rules of K-map. So let's see how we can organize this. Let me clean a little bit like this. Okay, if we look at the first state, you can see the state is 0 0 and the second state is 0 1. That means from first state to second state only C changes from 0 to 1 and B remains same, it remains 0. From second state to third state we can see C remains same, it remains 1, but B changes from 0 to 1. So in two cases we have seen that only one bit is changing. From third state to fourth state we can see B remains same but C changes from 1 to 0, and again from fourth state to first state we can see C doesn't change, it is remaining 0, but B changes from 1 to 0. That means only one bit is different from each other. So if we look at the first and fourth state, we can see they are different by each other by only one bit. That means the fourth state and the first state are neighbors. So we can draw like this. This is the first state, this is the second state, this is the third state, and this is the fourth state. So all of these are neighbors. Row wise we have one input, so there will be two patterns, 0 or 1, and again these two states are defined by each other by only one bit. Here 0 changes from 0 to 1, so these two are neighbors, these two are neighbors. Okay, now let's see how we can put the outputs from the truth table to the K-map table. So let me clean this up. Okay, let's say we have the truth table that looks like this. These are the inputs, let's say A, B, C, and let's say this is our output F, and the output looks like this. And now let's draw the K-map table. So we will write one input here and two inputs here. We will write the states like this. Okay, now for the first state 0 0 0 we have the output 0. So for 0 0 0 we will write 0. Then for second state or second pattern we will write 1. So the second pattern is 0 0 1, which is here 0 0 1. So here we will write 1. So for this state 0 1 1 we will write 0. Where is this? We can see we have 0 1 1. So here we will write 0. Okay, let me clear this up again. So if we write for this pattern, which is 0 1 0, the pattern is here 0 1 0. So for 0 1 0 we have 0, so we will let 0. For 0 1 1, which is here 0 1 1, we will let 0. Here we will let 0. For 1 1 0 we have 1 1 1 0, which is here, because 1 means second row, 1 0 means last column, which indicates this box, so we will put 1 here. Similarly, you can put the other outputs, I hope. So this is the first point. Now let's go to the second point. We need to count each one in the output as an element for the SOP, and for the POS we need to count each 0 as an element. So if we have the K-maps table like this, like this 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 0. So for POS, these are our elements, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And for POS, these are our elements because these are the zeros. So this is the second point. Let's go to the third point. We need to form groups for the K-map, and the number of group members can be of 2 to the power n, where n is a non-negative integer, that means 0 1 2 3 and etc. That means we can have group members like 1 2 4 8 16 etc. That means we can have group members 1 or 2 group members or 4 group members or 8 group members or 16. We can't have any number of members rather than these numbers. For example, we can't form a group with only 3 members or 6 members or 12 members, because we can make groups by having only these numbers. Okay, so for SOP, as we deal with ones in the SOP, this can be a group because there are 2 elements. For POS, this can be a group because there are 2 elements. And again, for SOP we count ones as elements, and for POS we count zeros as elements. Then we can combine elements horizontally or vertically to form groups. So we can form a group like this, because we have 4 members here. We can form a group because we can have group members of this number. 4 is a possible number, okay? That's why we can make a group. Again, this one, this one, this one, and this one, all these elements are adjacent to each other, because we know that the fourth state and the first state are neighbors. And again, these 2 rows are neighbors. That means all these 4 elements are neighbors, and we can form a group. And as there are 4 members or 4 elements, we can form a group. Then let's go to the next point. The groups must contain highest possible members. We know that we can have group members like 1 2 4 8 etc. If there is a case where we can have 2 members in a group or 4 members in a group, we must form the group having 4 members. Okay, we can't have 2 members in that group. For example, here we can see that here we have 1 element. Okay, 1 can be a possible number of a group, but there are 2 adjacent elements, so we can form this group containing 2 members. Okay, this is possible. Between these two, 2 is the highest possible number, so we need to take 2 as the number of group members. But we can see we can have more numbers like this. Okay, because all of these 4 members or all of these 4 elements are adjacent to each other. That means we need to form the group having 4 elements, because here the highest possible number is 4. We could form the group having 1 member or 2 members, but we have found here that the possible member number can be 4 here, so we won't take 1 as the number or 2 as the number, rather we will form the group having 4 members. So finally our group will be this. Okay, now we have 2 remaining elements. We could form a group containing these 2 elements, but we can see here uh, these 2 elements are adjacent to these 2 elements, so we need to form the group having these 4 elements, because here 4 is the best possible number. So we can say that here the groups will be this one and this one, sorry, this one. Okay, these 4 members and these 4 members. Then go to the next point. One element can be a member of one or more groups. Here we can see we can form 2 groups, the violet one which contain 2 members and the red one which contains these 2 members. The violet one contains these 2 members and the red one contains these 2 members. And here we can see the middle one. The middle one is this one. This one is common in the 2 groups, so this is possible. An element can be a member of one or more groups. For a particular group, at least one member should be unique. In the violet group, this element is unique because this member is only the member of this group, not in the red group. Okay. Similarly, this one is unique for the red group because this one is not common in the violet group. So for a particular group, at least one member should be unique. Now let's see how we can write the expressions, the simplified expressions using K-math. First I will describe for SOP, then I will talk about POS. For SOP, at first we need to write the inputs which don't change in a group. If an unchanged input is 1 in a group, then we need to write the input's name. If a particular unchanged input is 0 in a group, we need to write the input's name with a prime. So we need to write all the inputs similarly in a group which don't change. After finding all the inputs that don't change in a group, we need to take the product of that inputs. So this is for one group. After finding all the inputs for all the groups, we need to take the sum of all the groups. This is for SOP. Similarly for POS, we need to write the inputs that don't change in a group. If an unchanged input is 0 in a group, we will write the input's name. If the unchanged input is 1, we will write the input with a prime, which is opposite to the SOP. After finding all the inputs that don't change in a group, we will take the sum of the inputs. This is for one group. For all the groups, we will at last take the product of all the groups, and in this way we will find the simplified POS form using K-math. Let's see an example and make it clear. Suppose we have a function f of a, b, c equals to summation of 0 2, 6, 7. Okay, if I would have said f equals to summation of 0, 2, 6, 7, this and this are same. Okay, because here we can see the highest value is 7, and we know with 3 bits or 3 inputs we can get the combinations from 0 to 7. With 2 bits we can get 0 to 3. With 4 bits we can get 0 to 15, and in this case, as we have the highest value as 7, that means we have 3 inputs. Okay, so we can write the same thing using POS form. This means product, so we can say the same thing like this, because in the sub form this means that in these positions the outputs are ones, and in the POS form this means that in these positions the outputs are zeros. So if we want to simplify using K-map for the sub form, we should take this one, summation of 0, 2, 6, 7. Okay, now let's draw the K-map table like this. Like this, and as we have 3 inputs, we can take A here and B and C here. For A we can have patterns 0 and 1, and for BC we can have 4 patterns, and we should organize like this so that only one bit can change with the neighbor states. So we can see here from 0 0 it is 0 1, so only one bit has changed. From 0 1 to 1 1 only one bit has changed. Similarly from 1 1 to 1 0 only one bit has changed. One has changed from 1 to 0, and this one has remained same. And again from 1 0, this first column 1 0 has changed to 0 0. That means 1 has changed 0, but 0 has remained same. Okay, now let's put the ones according to the equation. This 0 means in binary form we can write 0 0 0. 2 means 0 1 0. 6 means 1 1 0. 7 means 1 1 1. So here we have 0 the first row, and we have 0 0 the first column. So we will have 1 here because 0 0 0 is in the first row, first column, which represents this box. Okay, so this represents this box. For 0 1 0 we have 0 here, the first row, and we have 1 0 in the fourth column, and this indicates this box, so we will put 1 here. Similarly for 1 1 0 1 0 we will put 1 here, and for 1 1 1 we will put 1 here. Okay, let me draw this clearly. I think this looks more clear. A B 0 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. We can put 1 here, 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 here. From this function, we will put zeros in the other positions. As we are solving for top, we will deal with the ones. And now if we want to form groups, you can see that this one, let's do it again, this one, the one in the first row and first column, is adjacent to this one, so we can form a group like this, because we have to form groups containing highest possible members. So we can form a group like this, because we can have only two elements here. So we will take the group like this. If there were one here, then we would have taken the group like this, because in that case we would have four members adjacent to each other. Now we have two remaining elements, we can easily form another group like this, because we have to form least number of groups and every group must contain highest number of members. So we can form a group like this, and if there were one here, then we would have formed the group like this, because then there would be four ones adjacent to each other. But in this case we have only two remaining ones adjacent to each other, so we will form the group like this. Now let's write the Boolean expression from the groups. So from the red group we can write A prime and C prime. How did I write this? We know that we have to take the inputs that don't change in a group. So in the red group we can see that it covers only the first row, and in the first row A is not changing, so we will take A, and as the unchanged value of A is 0, so we will take A prime. Similarly, we can take C prime, because the red group is covering the first column and the fourth column. We can see that B has changed from fourth column to first column. It has changed from 1 to 0, so we can't take B for the red group. But C hasn't changed, it has remained 0, so we will take C, and as the unchanged C is 0, so we will take C prime. If the unchanged C was 1, we would take C, okay, as we are doing for the soft form. So for 0 we will prime, for 1 we will just write the input's name, and for a particular group we will take all the inputs that don't change, and we will take their product, okay. In this case, in this red group, the unchanged inputs are A and C, and both are zeros, so we will take A prime into C prime. So for the red group we are taking the product of A prime and C prime. So this is for the first group, or you can say for the red group. For the green group we can write A, B. How did I write that? For the green group we can see it is covering only the second row, and in the second row A is not changing, it remains 1, so we will take A. It is not changing and the unchanged value of A is 1, so we will take A. And green group covers the third and fourth column. In the third and fourth column we can see B is not changing and it has remained 1, so we will take B, and as the unchanged B is 1, so we will take only B, not prime. And we can see C has changed from 1 to 0, from third column to fourth column. We will not take C for the green group. So finally we can write the simplified SOP form like this: F equals to AB plus A prime C prime. Because after writing the expressions for all the groups, we need to take the sum of all the groups. So this was for the green group and this was for the red group. This is the final expression. Okay, now let's simplify the same function using pos. So we have our function like this: f equals to sum 0 to 6 7. That means in product form or in pos form you can write 1 3 4 5. Then we can easily draw the K-map table from the pos form. So for A we will write 0 1, for BC we will write 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. So we need to put zeros this position. So for 1 the binary form is 0 0 1. 3 the binary form is 0 1 1. For 4 it's 1 0 0. For 5 it's 1 0 1. So we need to put 0 here. In 0 0 1 we will put 0 because 0 0 1 is representing the first row, the second column, and this indicates this box. Similarly 0 1 1 0 1 1 represents this box, so we will put 0 here. Similarly for 4 and 5 we can put zeros here, and in the other positions we will put ones. So see, this K-maps table and this K-maps table are same. We have drawn this K-map table using the SOP form and this one using POS form, and they are actually same. Okay, now let's form the groups. We can form a group like this and another group like this. Okay, now for the red group you can see it is in the first row. So in the first row A is not changing and it is remaining 0, and as we are writing for the POS form we will take A, because the POS form, if the unchanged input is 0 then we will take just the input's name, and if the unchanged input is 1 then we will take the input with a prime. So we will take just A because it is only in the first row, and see the red group is covering the second and third column, and in the second and third column we can see C has not changed. Okay, C is remaining the same in the two columns and it has remained 1. So we will take C prime because C hasn't changed and C is 1. So we will take C prime. If C was 0 we would have taken C, and we can see B has changed from 0 to 1, from second column to third column, so we won't take B. And as it is in the POS form we will take the sum of all the inputs in a group that didn't change. For the red group we have found our Boolean expression like A plus C prime. For the second group you can see that it covers only the second row, so A is not changing and A is 1, so we will take A prime, and the second group is covering the the first and second column, and in the first and second column we can see B is not changing and B is 0, so we will take just B, and C has changed from 0 to 1, so we can't take C. Okay, so we will only take A prime plus B. So finally we can write the simplified POS expression like this: A plus prime into A prime plus B. Okay, so we will take the sum of all the inputs in a group that didn't change, and after writing the expressions for all the groups we will finally take the product of all the groups. So this is the simplified POS form of the same function that we have solved earlier for the SOP form. Now let's see another example of 4 inputs. Here f is in SOP form. We can write f, or we can write f of a, b, c and d equals to this, because there are 4 inputs which are a, b, c and d. Now we can easily write the K-map table using this SOP form. We just need to put the ones in these positions in the K-map table. For example, if you want to put 1 in 12th position, we need to write the binary form of 12. Let me write it in big. So this is the binary expression for 12. So the first 2 inputs will be 1 1, so 1 1 here, and 0 0 here, so 0 0. So 12 means first column, third row, which represents this box. So here we will put 1. Similarly for 8 we can write 1 0 0 0. So the first 2 inputs will be 1 0 and the second 2 inputs will be 0 0. So 8 is in the first column, fourth row, which is this box. So here we will put 1. So in this way we can put ones and zeros in the K-map table. Okay, let me clean this up. Now we need to form groups. We can form a group like this because these 8 members are adjacent to each other. After forming this group, we have 3 remaining elements. We can easily form a group like this with 2 members, but we can't form this group because we know that we need to form groups having highest possible members. So we will form the group with these 4 elements, because we know that this column and this column, they are adjacent to each other, and also these 2 rows are adjacent to each other. So we need to form the group like this: these 2 elements and these 2 elements. This is the group, and then we can have another group having only 1 member, but again we can't form this because we have 2 possible members. Also we can't form this group because we have 4 possible members. Here are the 4 possible members, and this is the highest possibility. If we have 3 options, 1, 2 or 4, we will always take the 4, because in K-map we know that we need to form the groups having highest possible members. So that's why we say that this will be our green group. So for the red group, I can see the red group covers all the rows. That means A or B will change at least once. From first state to second state, we see that B changes from 0 to 1. So B has changed at least once. so we can't take B for the red group. For A, we can see A doesn't change from first state to second state, but it changes from 0 to 1, from second state to third state, and as A has changed from second state to third state, so we can't take A. If any input changes at least once, we can't take that input in the group's expression. So we can't take A or B for the red group. Then we can see the red group covers the first two columns, and in the first two columns C doesn't change, it remains 0. So we will take C, and as the unchanged C is 0, we will take C prime. And for D, we can see D changes from 0 to 1, so we can't take D. So for the red group, we will only take C prime. Okay. Then let's come to the blue group. We can see the blue group covers first two columns, first two rows. So the blue group covers first two rows. These two rows, the blue group covers first two rows, and in the first two rows we can see A doesn't change, A remains 0, so we will take A prime because the unchanged A is 0, and B changes from 0 to 1, so we can't take B for the blue group. Then we can see the blue group covers the first column and the last column. We can see D doesn't change in the first column or in the last column. So D doesn't change from the last column to first column. So we will take D with a prime because the unchanged D is 0, and C changes from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, whatever say. So we can't take C for the blue group. So for the blue group, we will write the product of A prime and D prime. Similarly, I think you should be able to write the expression for the green group. Okay, let me finish this. Like a blue group, we can see the green group also covers the first column and the last column. So we can easily write D prime, and it covers the second row and the third row, and we see that from second row to third row or from second state to third state, A changes from 0 to 1, so we can't take A for green group, and B doesn't change and it remains 1, so we will take B. And again, as green group covers first column and last column, similarly like the blue group, so we can't take C also because in the blue group we didn't take C, we saw Y. So for the green group, we can write the expression like this, the product of B D prime. So finally we will take the sum of all the groups, which is C prime plus need to hold on, A prime D prime, A prime D prime plus B D prime. So this is the simplified top expression for the function f. I think you should be able to write the simplified pos expression, which can be simplified by K-map. Try to solve this using pos and let me know if you find any difficulty. That's all for this lecture. Thank you.